Marco had been a cabinet maker for 23 years, but this kitchen remodel on Maple Street made his palms sweat. The homeowner, a retired aerospace engineer named Mrs. Gable, had provided a 14-page spec document. Page 7, paragraph 3, was circled in red. The gap between the undermount sink and the gas cooktop cutout must not exceed 3 millimeters on any side. Any deviation, and the countertop structural lip will fail, causing both fixtures to drop into the cabinetry below. The slab was Brazilian soapstone, deep charcoal with faint white veins, already paid for and non-refundable. One wrong pass with the circular saw, one wandering jigsaw blade, and the $4,000 stone would split like a stale cracker. Worse, Mrs. Gable would be right. A 4mm mistake on the left sink rail, and the sink's clips wouldn't bite. A 5mm error on the cooktop's rear overhang, and the gas burner would torque the stone on the first high-heat sear, sending the whole assembly crashing into the spice rack. Marco set up his laser guide. He measured the sink's outer rim, 432mm by 457mm. He measured the cooktop's drop-in box, 720mm by 480mm. Then he measured the distance between them, exactly 180mm of solid stone from the sink's right edge to the cooktop's left edge. That 180mm was the bridge. Too thin, it would snap. Too wide, the cooktop would overhang the cabinet below. Mrs. Gable's specs called for 178mm after finishing. She wanted compression. He chalked the lines, double-checked with calipers, taped the entire cut path with blue masking tape to prevent chipping. Then he switched the router to a diamond bit plunge cutter. No jigsaw, no saw blade vibration. Slow and cold, water drip over the bit to keep the stone from heat fracturing. First cut, the sink's front curve, perfect. Second cut, the sink's back edge. A tiny sneeze built in his nose. He froze, waited it out, no jerking the tool. Third cut, the right side, the critical wall that bordered the cooktop zone. The router bit whined. He leaned his weight steady, eyes glued to the laser line. The stone dust washed gray in the drip water. Cut finished. He measured the distance from the sink cutout's right edge to where the cooktop's left edge would begin. 181mm of uncut stone, 1mm over. Acceptable, but not perfect. Mrs. Gable's tolerance was -0.5mm. Marco exhaled. He didn't recut. Instead, he grabbed a diamond hand file and, over 40 minutes, shaved that extra millimeter down to 179mm, checking every 2 passes with the calipers. Then he polished the edge until it gleamed. Finally, the cooktop cutout, a precise rectangle. He drilled a starter hole at each corner, no cracks. Then the router again, this time following a hard acrylic template he'd made from the cooktop's actual casting. No guessing. The bit traced the template like a needle following a groove. At the 4th corner, he felt the subtle change in pitch. The cut was complete. He lifted the router, killed the water, and peeled back the tape. He set the sink into its hole. It dropped in with a soft thump flush. He set the cooktop into its cutout. Click, perfectly seated. The bridge of stone between them was 178.2mm wide. He pressed down on both fixtures with his full weight. The stone didn't flex. The cabinets below remained empty and clean. Mrs. Gable arrived 2 hours later. She ran her fingertip along the seam between sink and stone, then the cooktop and stone. She didn't smile. She just nodded, wrote a check for the full amount plus a 10% precision bonus, and said, "You may work in my house again." Marco packed his tools, drove home, and slept harder than he had in years. Not a single thing fell.